Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. This tweet up on the screen came out a couple of hours ago. I'm not exactly sure when this video is going to be going out. Maybe it'll go out tomorrow, so maybe it'll be a lot of hours by the time you guys see it. But this tweet went out from CLOUD9 at CLOUD9 on Twitter. Today we announced we are parting ways with C9 amateur support TEMPOS LOL. We thank you for your time in the team and wish you the best in the future. At the same time, we're welcoming Breezy as the new support. Time to get to work. So, at face value, if you didn't know much about the situation, pretty just normal tweet. Obviously, roster moves happen all the time if players are underperforming or things aren't working out. Players and teams move on from each other all the time. Replacements come in. Many people wouldn't think much of this, but this tweet is actually causing a ton of stir and a ton of drama in the League of Legends scene right now. It's absolutely exploding on Twitter. I'm pretty sure there was a Reddit post that was pretty hype on the League of Legends subreddit as well. And it's a whole situation to dive into. So in this video today, we're going to be talking about everything that's going on, giving my thoughts and opinions, and giving just the latest updates and facts in this situation. Because I think there is just a ton of misinformation and a ton of correct information, just everything going all around, a lot of feelings and just crazy tweets and stuff being said. But before we get into that, I just want to mention real quick, if you're not already subscribed, definitely click that subscribe button really quick. It's fast, it's free, it's easy. Helps you guys stay up to date on all my latest content, and I would appreciate it a ton. We recently hit like 6,100 subscribers. If we could hit 6,200 as fast as possible, that would be awesome. Just keep growing, keep going up. I would appreciate it a ton. Also, dropping a like on this video if you do enjoy it, or if you want to support my channel, help my content out, because it really does help me out with the YouTube algorithm. That would be awesome. So thank you so much if you do any of that. With that being said, here we go, getting right into this one. One of the big tweets that really got this drama and controversy going was the fact that Mira Davis, I'm not sure exactly how you pronounce that, but tweeted out, make a long-term developmental roster. Bring in a coach from Collegiate League of Legends. Collegiate League of Legends coach brings in some of his buddies. One of them clearly has a long way to go, but has promised. Talking about TEMPOS here, who, from my understanding, is a zillion one-trick and solo queue. I know on like Reddit or something they were saying that it seems like his other champions really aren't up to par yet. He seems to be an insane zillion, and an insane sport player, but obviously his champion pool maybe hasn't developed, and especially playing in like team settings maybe hasn't developed as well. So he is like a project, but obviously he is an insane talent that maybe has a bright future ahead of him. The whole community tells you this, you approve of it. Kid drops out of college for your team, and you kick him after 3 weeks. So that was the tweet that got everybody talking about it for the most part, to my knowledge, and got a ton of people reacting and stuff. But Jack, who is the head guy at CLOUD9, actually started responding to people on Twitter, which was kind of interesting. You don't always see the head, the big boys coming out on Twitter and actually kind of just responding to like random people and stuff. But he really got into like a little Twitter war here with a ton of replies and stuff. He said, everything you've stated here is fiction. Your attempts to stir up drama are not appreciated, and I hope you would take note that TEMPOS understands that this move is for the best. And he said, okay, we're really about to do this, huh? He said, sure, would you like to talk about? C9 took a player on a developmental roster despite many voices in the community stating it was a bad idea, and instead of sticking to the developmental purpose of the roster, you're removing a player after it is too late for him to secure a slot for himself on any team. So that is where a lot of the drama is coming from. That is what a lot of people are saying. If you don't want him on your team, if there's issues going on, if you don't think he's good enough, whatever, that's totally fine. But a lot of people take issue with the timing, the fact that they signed him after, he dropped out of college, lost his scholarship at his League of Legends team in college, and then comes to play for CLOUD9. And then they drop him a couple weeks in, where now it's too late to go back to college to get a new scholarship, to get on a new roster or something like that. Now that kind of the season's underway at this point, so they just have a problem with a lot of the timing and just kind of how exactly the situation was handled by CLOUD9. I think it's interesting because CLOUD9's actually been having a lot of craziness going on recently. I believe it was Fortnite where they actually have some drama and controversy with letting go some of their professional players or content creators or something like that as well. There is just a lot of rumor and speculation about how exactly CLOUD9 kind of treats their players and treats, not their top of the level players. I for the most part, I believe that the top guys at CLOUD9 in their highest games, their highest paid guys, are treated very well and love Jack and love CLOUD9 and love. It always seems like a good family atmosphere and stuff. But maybe some of the guys towards the bottom are not treated as well, and maybe they're taken advantage of. And that's what people are just asking a lot of questions about, and that's where a lot of this drama is going. The fact that CLOUD9 just kind of left this kid in a bad situation, and the fact that it just, in the end, it looks a little scummy, it looks a little dirty, how they, gave him this opportunity, which is great. It is obviously an awesome opportunity. Hopefully, even if he was only able to spend a short time with CLOUD9, hopefully he was able to get amazing coaching, amazing opportunities, and really, take some things that will help him build up for the future. But again, not being able to have your college paid for is something that really is going to suck as well, let alone the fact that you're not able to, who knows if he's able to get on another competitive roster in the meantime, playing like an amateur team or a collegiate team or something like that. It just seems like really, really weird, bad timing. And we've seen stuff like this in the LCS before where I know previously, I can't remember which team, maybe Echo Fox like dropped some players right before a deadline, and it was well within their rights, but they just received a lot of backlash because it's just, in the end, it's in bad faith, and it kind of, the optics of it look bad and stuff. But obviously there is more to this situation. Jack tweets that sometimes, despite plenty of effort from the player, coaches, and management, we find that it's not a good fit, and it's best for everyone to move on. So he's trying to, make it clear that this was best for Cloud9, but this was also best for TEMPOS in the end as well, which could be true to an extent as well. You don't want somebody being stuck in a situation where it's not the right fit, the right situation for them. They're not going to benefit from it. It could kind of just be a waste of time for everybody in the end as well, because it is possible that just because he's there with Cloud9 doesn't necessarily mean it is going to be the best situation for him. And then Jack also links to this tweet from TEMPOS, where TEMPOS does tweet out a lot, and I think this is a really, really big, important thing, because a lot of people so far are coming to the defense of TEMPOS, which is awesome. If a kid, a young guy, or even just anyone, is wronged and is actually being wronged, having people come out and stand up for them is awesome. That's, the things we'd love to see in the community, trying to make a positive difference, trying to, help out and make right where we see wrongs in the world, in the scene, just anywhere. That is always going to be a good thing, standing up to what we see as issues or bullying or just advantages taken against people, which is great. But the fact that, again, a lot of people are seeing TEMPOS is in the right and kind of standing up for him when he is maybe not taking as much issue with stuff is where I think it is really, really important. So while I get what people are saying, that this could be seen as a really, really terrible thing for TEMPOS and a really terrible situation, I do think we need to take a look at his tweets where he says, "I appreciate the outcry of support for me in the light of the Cloud9 roster swap, but I ask that you guys not attack C9. I've really grown as a player under Tails JJ coaching for the past 2 months, and it just wasn't working from a team perspective. You will see me in the LCS." So, I mean, the biggest thing there to me is that he is in high spirits. He seems like he is not absolutely crushed or defeated or anything. He's saying he's still going to get to the LCS. He's saying it was an awesome opportunity where he learned a lot and developed as a player, which, again, he absolutely could have. This could have still been a big thing for him at where he is now, an improved and better player, and it will still work out for him in the long run, even if in the short term it might kind of suck. But I mean, that's the story of doing anything great, of doing anything hard, especially in competitive environments where there's only so many slots. You have to overcome adversity. You have to overcome hardships and tribulations and stuff. And yes, again, you can. There is some potential backlash that you could say towards Cloud9 that maybe they didn't handle the situation effectively or the best way. But it is kind of a tough situation for them as well if they have a player that they believe is not working out. One of their interests is they need to develop the best team going forward in the future. They don't need to do charity work for every single kid that wants an opportunity with them. So I do understand both sides of the situation. He goes on to say, "The overwhelming support you guys are showing for me right now is actually making me stack tier IRL. Appreciate y'all so much." He says, "Guys, now that I'm not on Cloud9, I'm going to say it. Monster's better than Red Bull." I thought that was funny. He does say that I do already have a zoology bachelor's degree, so signing was relatively low risk. I ask that people see my improvement as a player and act excited for my future in league rather than making me a pity case. I appreciate everybody and everything is okay, honestly. So to me, this is the biggest tweet in the whole situation. Because, a lot of people see that, he lost his scholarship and he lost his spot on his collegiate team and think he just kind of doomed and stuff. But really, the fact that he has a degree is already great. I'm not sure what kind of job he'll be able to get or how that's looking for him, or if, he has a job lined up, or if he even has any desire to look at jobs anytime in the future. But at least he was able to finish his degree. He has something tangible, that nobody can take away from him, no matter what happens in the situation. If he never makes a dime from the LCS or any teams or anything, he should be set up well for the future, and that's awesome. It would be a much worse situation if he lost his scholarship and then couldn't afford to finish a degree or get educated or anything, because in the end, that is going to be an awesome, backup plan or fallback or whatever in terms of just living his life and going on for the future. So that is really, really important. But also the fact that he is saying that he knew this was taking a risk. Obviously, leaving school, leaving his scholarship behind, leaving his team behind, going to Cloud9. He knew it was a risk, but he says it was relatively low risk for him. He gets to go try and do something great. He gets to try to be, working with a professional League of Legends organization, and really one of the best organizations at that, and seeing what he can do, seeing how he can be as a player. Because obviously he knew it was a risk going on like an amateur team or something like that when people see him as kind of a project. People see him as a development. Cloud9 was taking a risk bringing him on as well. But again, he knew he was taking a risk, and he did see it as a low risk. He saw it as a calculated risk where if it doesn't work out, he obviously believes that he's still going to be okay. And if it did work out, obviously the rewards would have been absolutely amazing. But the fact that he is asking people to not feel pity for him, to be excited for him, to build him up. Like, if you want to cheer for him, if you want to stand up for him, that is amazing. But it doesn't need to be by tearing down Cloud9. It doesn't need to be by making, a pity case out of him or whatever. And if this is what he's asking of us, if this is what he is saying, yes, it could just be him making good public statements, doing good PR, whatever, which is amazing, because this statement is better than 99% of the statements I see from players, coaches, teams, anyone in the LCS, and it really shows me how mature and well-educated this guy is, and how much of a bright future he potentially has ahead of him, whether it's in League of Legends or just in life in general. I really, really love this statement, but there is a ton of people upset. There is a ton of people coming after Cloud9 right now, but the man himself is asking people to kind of stand down, and rather than putting out negative energy, which we already have enough of in this world, there's already so much craziness and stuff, if you want to build him up, to support him. I know he tweeted out this looking for team thread, where you can support it. You could retweet him. You could help spread the word. I know Jack actually retweeted it as well, which is an awesome gesture by him, and really shows that even though things didn't necessarily work out, he has no ill will towards his kid, and he wants to support him and wants to see for the best for him in the future. It just might not necessarily be on Cloud9, or not even necessarily at this time. So again, I'm not sure exactly what the future is going to hold for TEMPOS. I don't know if he'll be able to get on another roster, if he'll be able to get into another school, what exactly it's going to work out. I mean, at the worst, hopefully he can just grind solo queue and try and get onto a team, or continue to get better and improve, and hopefully from this whole situation he's on other people's radars, and people are learning about him, and maybe another team will give him a shot after all of this. But again, this is a really crazy situation. I already got a ton of comments for people asking me to cover the story, so I wanted to at least get my thoughts and opinions out there and get all the facts out to everyone. It's a tough situation. I do get both sides of it, and immediately I was kind of upset with Cloud9, and I get it, there is some reasons to be potentially, but in the end, I think everyone should stand down a little bit. TEMPOS is asking us to do that. I think everyone should respect his wishes and build this man up and support him. I really do wish him the best of luck in the future, and I hope there is still a solid resolution for him at the end of this whole tunnel. Hopefully, hopefully there's a light at the end of this tunnel. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you enjoyed it. It really does help me out a ton with the YouTube algorithm. I would appreciate it so much. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about this whole situation? Now that you've heard it, everything that's going on, we still don't know the entire facts and everything. We'll never know the whole story. But do you think Cloud9 was super in the wrong? Do you think everything's going to be okay? What do you think is going to happen with TEMPOS in the future? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, ship down on my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace!